Listen to the artists of today through the Doris Hall James Indie Show. Oh.
Good evening, and welcome to the DHJ Indie Show. How proud and glad I am here this evening to be with these four gentlemen who I've known for a very long time, and to let you know what they're doing now. This is what we used to call like old school, but now they're doing so many things. We want to keep you abreast of all the achievements that they are doing. So welcome to the Indie Show. I'm going to start by introducing them to you, okay? We're going to start over here with Raymond Earl, Kim Miller,
Hey.
Jim Gallenger, and Sam Peeke. Okay, guys, tell the audience hi.
Hey.
Well, during our lifetime, when I was, younger, we had musicians that really played. Not that they don't play now, but they played what we call R&B music, gospel music, jazz, and all kinds of things. And we enjoyed it so much. And now they still play the same kind of music, but in a different way. Okay? But I want to let you know that these artists who played then are still playing now. And I'm going to start off with having them tell you what instrument they play or where they perform or what they are doing now. We're going to start with Raymond Earl.
Well, I'm a bass player. I've been playing for over 50 years.
Congrats.
Still in the business.
Mm-hmm.
At the studio, still working in the studio, still putting songs and tracks and ideas together. And I love doing what I do.
Okay. Kim?
Well, I'm a guitarist, and I play a little bit of keyboards. I play it enough to play what I need. And I write songs, and I create different images, different what do you call them? Different genres. Yeah. And most of my focus now is on inspiration. So I don't call it gospel, I call it inspiration. Because it has a feel that makes you want to move and do the same things you do with R&B, but the only way to know what it is listen to the lyrics. So that's what I'm doing now.
Okay. Jim?
Well, I was a recording engineer at Sigma Sound for 10 years, and that's where, and freelance after that for another 10 or more years. And then I became an educator, and I taught music production and audio for, well, the first course I ever taught was in '78, and I only just stopped teaching a couple of years back.
Okay.
So, and then, I've done recently a project that involved everyone here, all three of these guys. I recorded them in a really cool project that T-Life asked me to record for them. And I also, on my own, write my own music and produce, and have done about 6-7 albums. And
Great.
and yeah, and my most recent one I called The Gray Album. Not the White Album, The Gray Album.
All right, that's okay.
Okay.
Hey,
Yes, Sam?
I'm Sam Peeke. I play saxophone. I write, I arrange, I produce. Okay, right now I spend most of my time preaching, and I do play music. Usually I play before I preach. And then I jump in wherever there's creativity. It could be a jazz set, it could be any set. If I can get there, I'll come and sit in and do what I do, And then I still do sessions. So just, I'm writing a book. I write books. So I'm in the mix of a whole lot of things right now. Yeah.
Sam, do you still have that flower store?
Yeah, I still do flowers too. Yeah, I'm also a florist. Matter of fact, I delivered a couple of flowers yesterday. Yeah.
Okay, so you do a lot of stuff.
I do a whole lot of stuff.
Well-
But wherever there's great creativity, I always try to be in the midst of it. Especially with my saxophone. Yeah.
And I think all of us do a lot of stuff, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We do a lot of stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Music is our passion, and we try to keep that going. But tell me, don't you think it's kind of hard now to keep it going with the way the music industry has gone?
Well,
What do you think?
yeah, I'm gonna let
say,
Raymond answer that one.
Yes, it is hard, because now you have to be extremely creative,
Okay.
and you have to be motivated from within, because the state of the industry right now is not good, not good at all. Everything is just about AI driven, digitally driven. So if you want to make a living in the music industry today, it's nothing like it used to be back in the good old days. Right now, a lot of people are recording their music or their songs, and they're releasing them through Spotify and Google Music and Amazon Music and all them places. But the bottom line is that there's a speed limit on the amount of money you can make.
Yes.
Right now, Spotify is 0.3% of a penny.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and streaming is like maybe 99 cents to $1.50. So in order to make any kind of money, your numbers have to be at least 200,000 or 300,000 in order for you to see a couple of dollars. So that's
Or perform.
yeah, or perform live. That's right. And so there's a serious problem with that. A lot of guys are coming out the box. Like let's take the big dogs. Let's take guys like Snoop Dogg and Eminem and people like that who are doing close to 1 billion streams. You know, a lot of those guys are complaining because even though their numbers are high, the paychecks are
They're not making.
yeah, the paychecks are like less than $4,000. So what's wrong with that picture?
A whole lot.
You know, so what I suggest, and what I'm going to do is take a step back, and I'm going to take it back to the way it used to be before all the streaming stuff came along. Because I think that there's a whole audience out there that's completely underserved. I think that the children's circuit is still intact, and I think that if we do our own music, the idea is like if we write a song, then 9 times out of 10 we're the person that wrote the song, that mixed the song, that mastered the song, and that put the song together. So we own the writers and the publishers. So now we own everything. And the idea is at the end of the day, how much can you retain?
Yeah.
So if you own everything, then it's only fair that you be paid. But yet, if I had a record out regardless of how good it sounded or how bad it sounded, if I entered the so-called, if I signed with a distributor and they put me in the so-called digital domain, then the good thing about it is that your record will be all over the place.
Yeah.
It'll be in all the popular sites. It'll be on Billboard and every place else that does digital, writers and articles. But the bad thing about it is that you can have a record that's extremely popular and all over the place and still make no money.
Make no money.
Make no money at all. So a lot of people say streams and likes, but
Well, somebody's making the money.
it's the platform owner.
Yeah.
The
Well,
guys that
that's
own
my whole
Spotify.
point.
Yeah, they're making the money. But a lot of guys are sold on the idea of streams and likes. Well, I got 10,000 likes, but you can't spend a like. You know, you can't take a like to the store and trade for anything. So we still got the same problem.
So what do you do
So-
now? Do you just perform to make?
No, I think you're
What
still
do you
right.
do?
I think you still do music, but I think it's like in my case, I want to try to avoid the whole so-called digital platform. I don't want to upload my whole song to a digital platform because that means I'm locked into that 3% of a penny, which is not good. But what I would do is maybe put up a 30-second snippet, and I would do my own platform, and I would have on that snippet, well, this song is available on this particular platform exclusively. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put it on all those other sites because now all I'm doing is shoot myself in the foot. But if you own the song, you own the rights to the song, if you own the masters and the publishing, then why not own your platform?
Yeah.
Why not put it on your own platform? So that's what I would suggest to anybody got us thinking about actually doing music now.
Well, it's amazing that you said that, because that's exactly what my thoughts are
Mm-hmm.
with the project that I'm working on now. You
Yeah,
know,
that makes
is
all the
that-
sense in the world.
is that because it makes all sense, because if they did it, why can't I do it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Now,
I
the
mean,
only advantage that they have is that they have outreach.
Yeah,
Everybody knows about
finances.
Spotify, so you put a song on Spotify, Spotify reaches all over the place.
Do you recall who was the very first person to raise the alarm and say, look out, this is what's gonna happen?
No.
Prince.
Yeah, he talked about it a while ago.
definitely. Oh,
Prince.
yes.
Prince saw it a long way off.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, I see what's coming, and that ain't gonna be good. And
Right.
and here we are.
Because that
Yeah,
was
he's
around
right.
that was around the time where he changed his name to the
Yeah.
symbol,
The simple.
Mhm.
because he was in rebellion
Mm-hmm.
of what was it?
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner
Mhm.
Brothers was about to try to do.
That's right.
Mhm.
You know, yeah.
You know,
You're right.
and another thing that I, coming from the engineering side and the technology side, two things I want to comment on. One is the fact that a lot of music, the way we used to do it, let's call it old school, where actual musicians all sat in a room, bass drum, keyboards, guitars, percussionists, everything, and they all played live. And that was at least the basic beginning. We layered things on top.
Right.
But, and then there was maybe an orchestra part on it if you had a big enough budget and all. And then people sang and background singers sang, et cetera, et cetera. And this was all done in stages and then final remix. But and that gave birth to and allowed a good number of decent recording studios to exist all over the country.
Yeah,
And one by one, they've all been shutting down.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because people
Yeah.
don't do it that way anymore.
Right.
Now you can produce a whole record on a laptop without even, until you need a singer sing, and then you can plug a mic into your laptop and even record the voices there too. You don't even need a studio anymore, pretty much. It's only when you do it a little more old school that you go into the recording studio.
Yeah.
And,
But
and a lot of people have their own project
Can
studios.
I
Yeah,
just
they
cut
have
in?
their home studios.
Well, the other side of that is people worked. Musicians worked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Musicians got paid.
and now,
And I think because of what's been going on, the industry done really starved out the good creativity
Tell me.
of the music, because the AI or all these here different ways of making new music has cut out maybe about 2/3 of the creativity.
okay.
Now a
and
person
sometimes
can,
maybe more.
some people can just go in and make a little beat and trigger a bass part with it and this, and they got a song.
Yeah.
Don't know nothing about what they doing, but the people that got used to this kind of stuff.
That's right.
Right. Right.
So, but then there's a starvation of real creativity that has not been tapped on. And people talk about it all the time. I want to hear real guitar. I want to hear a real drummer. I want to hear a real singer with all that stuff on his voice.
That's right. And
I want
with
to
a
hear the
great
raw
melody
talent.
and a
Hear the
great
raw talent.
lyrics.
So there is a market. Whatever you call it, old school, new school. I play with the young guys, and I play their music, and me sitting there with them, their music all change. With me just sitting there with
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
the way they play, it changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
that's always
well-
been true.
Well, to bounce off of what the both of you just said, it's like, and Raymond had mentioned it earlier, is that when you go back to the old school ways of doing things, where just like you said, Sam, it's naturally played, and I feel that is missing between the AI stuff and the naturally feel is exactly that. It's the feel.
yeah.
And see, because like music is alive. It has a pulse, it has a heartbeat, it has a feeling. This is why when we hear certain songs that we like them because a melody in that song,
The
or a
lyrics.
way something was played or something was sang, it gave us an emotion.
Yes.
Now that's the life. Now, I don't care how you do it, the AI stuff and everything, it may sound good, but you don't get that feeling like you were saying, Sam, from the natural thing, because it's emotion. It's emotion, and that's what I feel is missing, you know? And so when you go back to do things the way that we used to do, well, that's how I do things. I refuse to come out the box. I may call like Raymond up and say, hey, man, like I need a drum track or something like this, so I can put an idea down. But the actual thing, I don't use none of that stuff. Everything is actually played.
And once you get used to opening up the gateway to the soul, it's a technique to open the gateway of the soul open. Once you get that, you don't want to go no other way but that way, because people are really paying attention. They're not really looking at a show. They're listening at something that makes them cry,
Yeah.
make them
Or make
shake,
them laugh.
That's what
make
I
them
meant.
Jump
take
up
them out of
and
down.
misery.
It's emotion. It's
Yeah.
emotion.
Yeah.
There are certain melodies and certain chord progressions that bring out certain emotions in you. And that's just the way.
But how do we do that if now they're so used to doing music the other way? How do you guys get back in? Or can you get back in?
You got to create the market all over again, like they say.
Yeah.
You got to do the market all over
Well,
again. You got to start from scratch. You got to market your
Well,
own
okay.
thing,
Well-
and you got to build a format or a venue where they're buying all your stuff and nobody's involved. Nobody can shake it. Nobody can break it. It's all your thing. I mean, what they're saying is right. What you saying?
Yeah, well, as the word tells us, it says that there's nothing new under the
It
sun.
sure ain't.
So that means that everything goes around.
Okay,
And
yeah.
the way that we're talking about the style and the emotion and the feel and everything, it's going to come back around.
Okay.
But what it's going to take is someone with a certain track or a certain whatever that they hear that's going to spark it. Just like, well, let's say when Prince first came into the market, it was his sound, the sound that he had with the guitars, with the high end and the way they were playing fifth chords and stuff like that. It was a new sound, and it grabbed everybody's attention. And now everybody wants to sound like and be like and do like Prince. So it's the same like theory with bringing
Creating
back
something
what
new.
we're talking
Yeah.
about now. So I'm just saying, we're not going to come back out doing the same songs that were done back in those days, because the time has changed.
You need to write new material.
Yeah, but it's the way that we record it, and the way, because there is no comparison between what a machine can do and what a live person can inflict.
No offense, I've never been a Prince fan, but I'll tell you, I was a James Brown fan.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I like James Brown because James Brown had everything. Strings, horns, he had everything. And the sound that he came off, I really believe Prince and Sly and all them guys got their sound, grabbed their sound from him. So if it's going to be a person, it's going to be somebody that do something like James Brown did. Because James Brown, man, everybody, especially this later years, everybody was stealing his stuff. And everybody was using his stuff. I should tell you something.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, they were jazz musicians. I always tell people, James Brown musicians were jazz musicians.
Motown's rhythm section were all jazz.
Yeah, but they to make the kind of music because they had to do what we did. They had to play with simplicity. And
feeling.
I remember one time you was explaining how guitar just went in and just played chick,
Yeah.
chick. But you know, these guys are jazz musicians. You know, like, do you imagine what they went through? Did
Yeah.
somebody tell them to do that? And
Yeah.
James Brown had them all under control.
Yeah.
James Brown gave them the concept.
Yeah.
He was a musician, and he took that old blues, he took that jazz that they had, and he came up with a sound, with an orchestra that everybody accepted. So James Brown was like, man, I love James Brown. I ain't like his voice too much.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
his band,
But see, once again, going off of what you said,
yeah.
you know, you
Take
say,
that special
you
person.
say right that
Yeah.
you didn't like James Brown's
Yeah, I'm in
sound of his
agreement
voice,
with you. I'm in agreement with
but his voice, along with the musical creation, created a sound.
you. Yeah, it did.
And that's what we love, because I can tell you right now, I love Steely Dan. Fagan's voice I ain't too in love with, but it makes a sound
Yeah,
with
right.
what the music is,
Yeah.
which makes him Steely Dan.
Yeah, and James Brown made the transition
Yeah.
from
But Steely Dan is just another example of someone who put together an incredible number of musicians and singers to make the records that he conceived.
Yeah.
And he produced them,
Yeah.
he and his partner. And there were never lightweights involved in a Steely Dan record. They were all the heavyweights.
Yeah.
And in fact, what they were notorious for was having big name guitar players come in, you do a solo, and they do a couple takes, and then bring another big name, and then bring another big name guitar player into play, till they finally got exactly what they heard, or wanted, or
So
feeling they
we're-
liked.
So we're waiting for that one special person or those special people.
Oh, it's
And
coming.
it's coming, and it's.
it might be in this room right here.
Maybe in this room.
Hey, we got the engineer, we got it all right here.
You guys know what's missing and know what you have to do. You're right, Sam. It may be right
Right
in this
here,
room,
might be
is that
right
It
here.
might be you, Doris.
That's
I'm
right.
trying.
I done heard them tracks. I heard them tracks
Yeah.
you did.
I love to
Oh,
write
stuff now.
songs. You know, I'm a songwriter. I love to
Yeah.
write songs. And I like to do inspirational music too. So it may be all right in this room.
That's
You
right.
never can tell.
That's right.
And what I have said all the way from the beginning, of the first class I ever taught, right through to last week talking to people, it always starts with writing.
Yeah.
You got to start with a good melody and good lyrics.
Lyrics,
If you don't
yes,
have that,
yes.
you can be as polished. I mean, we used to kid at Sigma. They said, what were you working on this week? He said, well, I was polishing turds. But 90 times out of 100, we were making hits,
Yeah.
because some of the very best in the world were coming in. But there were times when there were people coming through and they weren't, they didn't have the top quality writing.
Yeah.
And you can even look at top quality producers who I worked with who made hit after hit after hit, and then they drop one album out with some weak writing on it for a new artist or something, and nothing.
And you have
It's
you
about
have
the
your
writing.
home studio, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
Of course.
are you artists are coming in there to record? How you do?
No,
what you
no,
do?
it's a home studio. It's just for me to.
It's just for you,
I
right?
write there, and what I do, the way I utilize the newer tools, is I have an old school, the very first ever Linn drum machine, pre-MIDI Linn drum, and I just put up a loop when I've written something. I've written something on my acoustic guitar, whatever, or on my electric, and then I play a rhythm part to a drum loop.
Okay.
And then, if I think it's really going to happen, I might, then I start bringing in other people to play. I play the bass, or I'll play this, I'll play that, fake a keyboard part, But when I really want to do it right, then I bring people in and we play live.
Okay.
Now, speaking of that, let me tell you what's missing or what's been lost. Speaking of bringing people in, like say for instance, if I write a song, I hear a song a certain way,
Yeah.
and I hear it flowing a certain way, but I may call somebody in, like Sam Peeke, give him the key, and give him a vibe, then I'll sit back and let it happen.
And let them play.
So just like they say, styles make fights, styles and people also make music together. But like if I call Sam in, and then if I call Kim in on guitar, I may not know exactly what Kim's going to play, but I'll know that the style he plays is going to fit. the
It's
track.
gonna work.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
right.
the right tool for the right job.
That's
And I think
absolutely
that's why the
right.
records were so good back in the day, because you had certain people that were good in the areas that were playing a certain vibe. But you did not have to sit them down and say, play this and play that and play that. All you gotta do is just give them the key and put them in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And then sit back and let it happen.
Yeah,
You know, I
absolutely.
think that's been lost in today's music. Because when you get one guy with a drum machine and a sequencer, it's a whole different animal.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's a whole different animal. There's no way that that he could bring to the table.
It's mechanical.
It's
It
all,
is.
yeah, and you're limited by your imagination. So there's nothing like you could bring somebody else to the table that can hear that same song and then take it someplace else. So it'll come out even better than what you thought. And the same thing with singers, you know.
No,
But I
absolutely.
think that that's been lost in the industry today. That's
Right.
unfortunate.
Well, when I said I use my drum machine, but then oftentimes on a number of tracks I've done, when I start getting a lot of people on top of that that's starting to sound really good, well, I'm going to get a drummer in
There you go.
and let him play, and he
Yeah.
can use that as like a clock.
There you go. That's right.
But, and then it sounds tight, but and one song when it comes to mind, I know in the bridge, everybody, including the real drummer, drifted off the click. And it felt good. And I left it just like that, because it felt like they
Feels
actually
good.
played it that way. You know what I mean? It is sometimes, the electronics is just a guide to keep people
That's right.
tight for a minute, and keep it as clean as you can. Because modern audiences notice when it's not perfect to a click.
Yeah.
They've grown up listening to music that's perfect click, perfect time, because it's just a machine for generations now. And when they don't hear, when they hear a real band really play, and they hear the imperfections that are there in a real band actually playing, well, that's not perfect.
Well, you're talking about the
What's
human
wrong with
cloud, and there's no way to duplicate
But
the
that's
human
where the
cloud.
feel comes from.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Well, you know what I like about today's music? I'm gonna tell you one thing I really like.
What's that?
Back in the day, the singers would sing with quarter notes, whole notes, and eighth notes. But now you hear them singing like eighth notes, 16 notes, and they done pepped up the lyrics. So the lyrics are moving fast. I like that, when they singing a song and they got about 4 words in one beat. Or they
Oh,
do
yeah.
how they singing fast now. It's pretty challenging, but it takes real good talent, to be able to pronounce your words and sing songs, especially at that speed. And I like that part. I don't like all the lyrics, but I like how
I know
the
what you
transition with the lyrics are moving.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say a couple things because time is running by. So let me just ask you that. Name some of the artists you have worked with, Raymond. Come on.
I've worked with quite a few artists.
Name a few.
Eve is one. Fatback Boys is another. And all these guys came to the house.
Okay.
There's been, I don't know, there's been countless numbers of acts that I've worked with.
Were they
The Ghetto
all
Boys.
R&B?
No,
artists?
the Ghetto Boys were from Houston, but they were hip-hop. But 2 of them actually stayed in Trenton. So I got a chance to work with them through that connection. Sherman Hensley over at Guy's Studio. Diane Reeves over at Guy's Studio. So we worked with a nice
And you still
nice
working
amount of
now?
people every day.
And what are you doing? You in music?
Yep, that's right. I got a couple acts I'm producing. One guy, Ward Round out of Chicago. His album is complete, but we're trying to figure out what to do with it. How do we market in today's market? You know what I mean? How do we distribute it? How do we figure out a way where we can actually get paid? Now, we ain't got to make all the money, but we should make something.
Something.
You know? So that's where we are now. We have music. We're just trying to figure out what's the best way, to navigate the industry right now so we can get paid.
How about you, Kim?
Say who? Oh man, I'm like Raymond. Well, all those that he just said, plus Evelyn King, the Isley Brothers, the Pips,
all those.
Lowly, Holloway,
Don't forget Curtis Mayfield.
Curtis Mayfield,
Oh, boy.
Archie Bell and the Drills.
Yeah, I love working with them.
Lou Rawls, Carl Carlton,
Yeah, did. I mixed it out.
Yeah.
Carl Carlton,
So many.
It's so many, what's the, Patty Brooks out on the West Coast?
Isn't that something?
Like Chaka Khan, that tight fit stuff, all that stuff, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and I know I'm like missing more because we did
You
so
kidding me?
many.
Because we've been doing it for
So many.
And you were at the studio, right?
Sigma Sound.
You were at Sigma Sound.
I was at Sigma Sound for 10 years.
And you recorded.
And I recorded every Sound of Philadelphia artist you can name.
That's right.
And I think the more important thing to mention are the great producers I worked with. You know, Gamble and Huff, Tommy Bell, Stevie Wonder, Michael Henderson, T-Life, Dexter Wansell. I recorded these guys on Dexter Wansell's Life on Mars, the first, they cut the title track. So great. I still listen to that and I can't believe how great it is. It's so good. And then on and on and on. And in 10 years, can you imagine? I mean, I remember when I was leaving Sigma, I wrote up a list of everybody I worked with. And I said, if somebody handed me this list, I'd tell them they were totally full of it. Nobody could have possibly worked with all those people.
Yeah,
You know, and all the ones you just named, all the Gabeloff and Bell, all the Philadelphia International people, everybody, Teddy, Lou Rawls, Jerry Butler, Patti LaBelle, you know, and on and on and on. Everybody who ever worked there, I worked with all of them. Delphonics, Stylistics.
How about you, Sam?
Well, I played for most of the people they played for.
It's true.
That's true.
Let me think some people that they didn't play for.
Okay.
Gospel. I did a lot of gospel albums. Cindy Barber and Voices of Praise, the Williams Sisters, the Five Blind Boys. For
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. You
I
did
worked on
that.
that. Damn, they were fantastic.
What's that boy in California I used to, man, we was overseas together. They had a name that can't come to my name. But I worked with Richard Perry out in California.
He's one of the biggest ever.
I worked with Gladys Knight.
You were with Patty a long time, weren't you?
Yeah, I was Patty a long time, but you know, I did all that. We all did that stuff, you know, because you know, you got to understand that when Bunny Singer, when we did his
how
stuff,
can we not mention
he
Bunny?
was doing everybody's stuff.
That's
so,
right.
So that means I
James.
played on all of everybody's stuff. You know, and just a couple of years I disappeared out of the scene. But when I came back as a vengeance. The when Bunny caught me, he had me on everything, and then. You know, Patty, Evelyn Champagne King, Teddy Pendergrass, you know, Archie Bell and the Dread.
They were.
I played,
Oh my God.
played Billy Park.
love
Park.
Billy
All them groups I went
Yeah.
on. I used to work on stage with.
Soul City
Billy,
Walk.
Billy
McFadden
Paul,
Whitehead,
Oh yeah.
Billy Paul.
Denise Williams.
Yeah, we did all
Come
that.
on, man. I could go on and
We
on.
could go
How
all
much
night
time
long
you
with
got?
people.
But
with
you,
the-
but you know what? You know, I'm listening to you, and the audience is listening to you too. So all this information you're giving them, all this talent that you've been through, all these people you played for, aren't you proud of yourselves?
Yeah.
You're proud, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so give yourself a round hand of
Well,
applause.
thank you.
Because
These guys especially.
you know,
Wow.
you've done a lot, and
Yeah.
you've contributed a lot to the music industry. And a lot of stuff that's being played now is being played because of you. You understand that? It's being played because they have listened and they have kind of take away, copied, and made a replica of what you're playing and all the, and they have developed their music. So I want to let you guys know that and say thank you to you for contributing all your gifts that God has given you to the music industry, because you've done a
Thank
great
you.
job.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
And I hope that within this group circle here, someone comes out and become this person who we need to change the music.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay?
They definitely
Come on.
working on. These
Yeah.
guys working
Yeah.
on.
Okay?
These guys, I know they working
It'll
on.
be
it.
Yeah.
really.
He's working on that
Yeah, I
different
just-
aspect too.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing, a little bit about Sam. I just want to let y'all know. When we first met Sam, like we didn't know Sam cause Bunny brought him in and he introduced him, but we never second guessed anything Bunny suggested
Never.
because we knew that he knew what he was talking about.
Man was brilliant.
But anyway, on that first album when Sam came in, I'll never forget because he went, you know, we were sitting there and we were talking about horn parts. He said, well, we ain't got no horn players here. And Sam said, I'm here. I can do it. I can do it. And he went in there and he played all the harmony shots on everything.
Oh, Sam.
And that's how it just clicked. And it was clicked. Sam played all the horn parts
All
on
the
that
parts.
first album.
All the parts.
Isn't that
On
great?
that first
He
album,
didn't just
man.
play
And-
a solo, he played all the
yeah,
parts
he
of the
played
whole
all
section.
the parts.
And they let me play in the studio with them. I remember me going with them. Remember that?
Oh,
Y'all set me a booth in there with the rhythm section.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm really proud of that. And if, you know, the new school, whatever we want to call them, you know, they're listening. I know that you can give them some aspiration as to what to do to move forward in the music industry. Do they need to learn chords? You know, do they need to
Well,
play live,
well, my
mix it up?
my view on that point is number one thing is never lose your joy of playing
That's
and creating music.
That's the main thing.
I mean, it's like be creative. You know, don't focus in so much on trying to be like what somebody else did.
Yes.
You know,
yes,
just be you.
yes.
You know, because it's me. You know, when I listen to music, I listen to everybody and every genre. I listen to it and I like it all. Some of it, am I going to go out and play it? No, I'm not. But I enjoy listening to it. So there's an ear for anything that you can create. There's somebody that you're going to attract. So be yourself and have fun with it. Laugh, joy, you know, and don't take constructive criticism. Take it because it'll
listen
build
up.
you.
To build you.
It'll build
Make
you.
you stronger.
absolutely.
Well, I want to say thank you to you guys for coming on tonight to the DHJ Indie Show. I enjoyed you. You know, you did a video one time around 4 or 5 years ago for me, and you're doing it again, and I'm thankful. And I want everybody to understand that the music really generated from the things that you have done in the past, you know? And we're going to meet again, and we're going to make sure that somebody, whoever that special someone is, help us to get the music back out again.
Right.
What goes around comes around.
Yes, it does.
Okay, I thank you very much for listening in and watching the DHJ, the Indie Show, and we'll see you soon.
All right.
Have a good day.
From your lips to God's ears.
Yes.
Listen to the artists of today through the Doris Hall James Indie Show.